turtle position. So from the rest position, there's a lot of neck exposure. And so usually what happens is intermediate to advanced guys, they know to hide their elbows and they know to hide their chin and stay tucked in tight in the turtle. So he's gonna show you the turtle real quick. In the turtle, this is harder for me to break down because I want to open him up, I want to ride him, you know, and he's minimizing exposure. But if he's back in the reps again, go ahead. You know, I can go to default chokes, meaning I don't need to have hooks in to finish this guy. And a classic example of that is a bulldog choke where I bring my arm through, I step wide here, and I just sit my hip through like this, and it's a really bad choke, okay? So you guys gotta be aware that when you go to a ref's position and you're looking to escape, you should have like at least monitoring one of his wrists and turning out to come up. Meaning, he doesn't want to just come up straight this way where I can catch him. He kind of wants to turn out like this, you know, away from me, where he's controlling one wrist. We're gonna go over that later, but the most important thing that I want you guys to realize is that when somebody's riding your back here, you're probably better off Grambying if you can't get a grip to turn away, if you can't monitor this arm where it's gonna come over the top and choke you, okay? So what I want you to do is just tuck your elbows in, bring your head down, and his hips now are a primary concern for me because he has a lot of explosive power where if he just lifts his hips straight up, boom, he's gonna toss me off of him, okay? That's one thing to consider. And the other thing to consider is I don't want to put my leg up the middle like this because now Chris can take his right hand and post it on the mat, and he can take his left hand through, cup my kneecap, and he can roll through, and now I end up in a very bad position where he starts to expose my legs. Okay, so let's come on back. So how do we get this man to open up without really getting exposed to a rolling knee? But I can bring my knee to the far side, right? I can bring my leg over to the far side. I can start to pinch his hip, but now my hips are loaded right over him, and when he bucks forwards, boom, I gotta go for a ride. So that's fine if I have like, you know, two arms over under, but what I like to do is I like to keep a thigh pry right here with this arm, so like a crowbar, to get exposure like this. All right, my back knee, if you come around and you see, my back knee can staple across his calf, all right? And then my left knee starts to drive in like this to open up this space. My right foot peels and opens his knee. So you see I've opened his knee a little bit here, where it's starting to put pressure on his knee, and he don't like that. I put my left knee up the middle, I can catch 1, 2, and then I can start to pull to get inside this space. A lot of times I can force him to roll with me, and I can start to lock up and come inside here. I can go for banana split, I can do like archer's bow to get my second hook in, but basically, I'm looking for a way to open this man up without him putting me off kilter, and I end up, you know, getting toppled off on the bottom. So I don't want this game of topsy-turvy where he's on top, I'm on top, he's on top. So we need to learn to ride the man in terms of setting wedges and breaking him open, but also being able to feel and have sensitivity to where he's gonna go, because the hips are the most powerful part that he has of his physical body, where he can be very explosive and dynamic. So I need to learn to ride this properly. These gaps here are what I want to open, okay? With the gi, you know, you have the lapel and you can feed it, it's great, okay? But, you know, I don't like to rely on apparel, so for me, instead of doing that, I cup the head, and I can also pull his spine offline as I go here to open this up, okay? I can put my far hook in like this, cup and try to roll through, but a lot of times I feel it as I roll through, he may slide and get his hips out, so he can shrimp over my hook and go back out this way, and we end up in this like redundant process where it's over and over again. So I don't like rolling through for far side hooks. I've never had a lot of good experience with it, but some guys, what they'll do is they'll come here and they'll pull the far side hook to them. so that it becomes the bottom side hook. I don't know if that makes sense to you right now, but I'm going to show you, right? I put the far side hook in, and I pull it to become the near side hook. So now he can't shrimp out away from it, and my second hook goes in easily. Let's come back again. So you can see, I can set a near side hook, or I can pull the far side hook to become the near side hook. Meaning I'm here, I'll pry him open, he's gonna hold this, he's gonna hide this nice and tight. I can't get the pry. I use this to open, right? 1 and 2. This comes in. Nice and easy now. And I put it through the space. Okay? So let's go again. I'm gonna show the space here. So we got a couple of methods, but we want to set this near side wedge. So I got crowbar, pulling the head, he's hiding tight. 1, I use my knee, I push and pull, and then I insert my left hook, like this, all the way through. And now I have this hook here. I can ride tight here, roll over the hip, or I can just pull him this way. And look how I kick him out, and I put my hook in. If I have the underhook, I like to pull him to the underhook side. We can still finish here, it's very powerful as well. Okay, either one is fine. But let's just work breaking the man down and putting the far side hook to become the near side hook, or putting that knee twist in and getting that near side hook and then putting the top. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I see each group get it, we'll get it right. So the thing is, when I'm here, I'm loaded on his hip. It's hard for him to stand up because I'm dominating his back right quadrant with my weight, and this hand is a crowbar opening. This hand is here on his bicep. And I was saying before, I'm gonna float like a ghost, So all of my weight stays in place as my legs switch, and then I toggle him back to this corner. So I'm here, and I'm gonna go, and I put the hook, and I pull him all the way this way. And the choke goes in as I'm coming across, okay? So I'm gonna shadow drill it without Chico, just because I want you to see the way I'm using my weight. I'm here, like this. I'm here, 1, crowbar, 2, I'm blocking his bicep. This knee hits this leg and it switches. As I'm pulling him in the air, this moves simultaneously. I don't go 1, 2, and then try to throw my hook in. By the time I do that, he's gone because he's not bearing my weight. I need him to bear my weight as I go. So I go, and I pull him through, all right? It's one motion, all right, guys? So get used to that. 3, 2, 1.